My name is Patrice Harris, and I am the Communications Manager at SKELEC. The last time I was here, which would have been the first Wednesday of this month, we had a conversation about the street lights that SKELEC is installing throughout the island. I would have mentioned that these street lights are environmentally friendly. They light forward. They don't necessarily provide a lot of light for the back as to what customers would have been accustomed to with the previous mercury-based street lights. But these street lights are way better for the environment, and SKELEC is happy to be a partner in this project with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. I would have mentioned that we would have installed turtle-friendly street lights in Keys on the Keys Island Main Road, and that is to aid with the turtles that come on Keys Beach to nest. To date, we have done a majority of the island. We have moved in an eastern direction, so all of the rural communities from Connery, Keys, right up Keon, Lodge, all of these communities, Tabernacle, right into Bastia, would have already had the energy-efficient street lights installed. So currently, we are in St. Peter's installing these street lights. St. Peter's is quite a large area, so we will be there for some time, and we have already installed 2,880 lights. When we leave St. Peter's, we'll be heading back into Bastia. I think the last Bastia community we would have done would have been St. Johnson, Buckley's, and headed up into Shadwell and St. Peter's, then we're going to come back down into Bastia. So I know the last time I was here as well, we got some calls about people liking the street lights. So I'm happy that people like the street lights. Jackie, have you seen the lights in your area? You still haven't?
Not yet, not as yet.
Okay, well, I really want you to come and give me feedback, GQ, after the new lights would have been placed.
I got to take a road trip. You got
to take a road trip. But not too far. The lights on the highway, the bypass road, those are the new energy efficient street lights.
Okay.
So please, whatever assistance you can provide the teams as they're out there installing these lights, whether it is traffic-wise, please don't impede upon their ability to do so. It's a hard-working team we have at SKELEC who is currently installing these lights. It's a team dedicated to the installation of these street lights because we want to be able to get the entire island done as soon as possible. In the past as well, maybe not this week and last week, but certainly in the weeks before, we would have had some challenges that would have resulted in some emergency and unplanned outages. I want to ensure the public that the company continues to work on its reliability. We have been and continue to overhaul our engines that really would have been past the overall date. We are currently working on these engines to ensure that we are able to provide a consistent supply of electricity. And in so doing, and maybe people might not be able to understand the correlation here, but we have resumed our planned outages. So a planned outage is different from an unplanned outage. A planned outage is an outage where we say we're going to disconnect power from this particular area to be able to do our maintenance work. And we ensure to get these notices out to the public at least 24 to 48 hours before the outages. So this week alone, we have had outages on Tuesday in Atlantic View, Frigate Bay, and Half Moon Bay, as well as Old Road on the main road. Today, there should be an outage at Canada Industrial Estate. Tomorrow, there should be an outage from Keon to Lodge Village. And Friday, there should be an outage from Parry Village, Milliken, Cedar Grove, Fountain, and Bayfords. Now, what happens during these outages is that we give you a time. So we will say to you, the outage is going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It does not necessarily mean that you're going to be without power for the entire 3 hours. It means that you shouldn't expect an outage during that time. Depending on what our crews find when they are doing the maintenance work, it might take a longer space of time, it might take a shorter space of time. But more often than likely, you will only have a short outage during that period of time. And if you are without power after the outage has taken place, please call us and we'll be able to dispatch a team there to figure out why the power has not been restored to you. So people might ask, well, how do I know if there's going to be a planned outage in my area? Well, firstly, I'll say to you, start with our Facebook page. There are some blue images that we put out on a daily basis that tells you the area that the outage is going to affect, as well as the time that this outage will take place. You can also log on to our website, www.skelec.kn. When you're there, it's right on the home page. There's a table that tells you where the outages are going to be happening for this week. Also, and it's another topic I'm going to speak about today, if you call our 465-2000, even before you're able to get to any of the other extensions, it will tell you there is currently a planned outage at this particular area, and we apologize for the inconvenience. So if you want to sample it on your own and you want to try right now and call 465-2000, you will hear the automated prompt telling you that we are currently experiencing an outage at Canada Industrial Estate. And that will remain on the 465-2000 line for the entire day, so that you can know if there was an outage, because sometimes people come home and they might see something off and they're like, okay, maybe I had an outage. So if you call 465-2000 on any given day that there is a scheduled outage, you will be able to hear the outages for that day. Even when there are unplanned outages or emergency outages, when something takes place that we really have to go out into the field to respond to, you will be able to hear it there as well. Tune into your regular media houses. We send out the notices every week as to where the outages are going to be for that day. So I know sometimes we think we hit the mark and that customers know what's going on, but it's not all the time they know what's going on. But my recommendation to you will always be to call us. And our service is automated, and you won't need to necessarily speak to someone. You leave that message and we'll be able to respond as soon as is reasonably possible. So these planned outages are a part of our reliability efforts. As with anything, just as with your bodies, you need to maintain it. You need to, whenever necessary, make any repairs or make some changes so that they can run better. And that's exactly what SKELEC is doing with these planned outages. We're repairing any damages that might have happened to our network, which includes our lines, our poles, some of the equipment. There's a particular lifespan on that equipment, so we do need to go in and check to ensure everything is working right. Is it time to change this particular item? We monitor what's happening so that we can prevent the emergency outages. We really want to reserve the emergency outages for things that happen outside of the company, so that whether it is an accident or a hurricane or something grave. But we want to do our part as it relates to the routine maintenance so that we can reduce anything major happening. So we really want to ensure that we provide the public with a reliable supply of electricity. And we want to thank the customers in advance for their patience as it relates to these planned, scheduled outages. We know it's not a great feeling to be without power. Not because we work at SKELEC. We do have moments when we are without power as well, if there is an outage in our community. So we want to thank you for your patience. And as I would have mentioned earlier, the planned outages for this week are for Canada Industrial Estate today, tomorrow, Keon to Lodge Village, on Friday, Parry Village, Milliken, Cedar Grove, Fountain, and Bayford. So customers within these areas will be affected by a maintenance outage. If you are without power, and the outages for this week, they're going to by 2 o'clock you should have had your power returned. So if you are without power by that time, do call us at 465-2000 or our emergency number 465-2013 or 600 from a mobile phone. So the planned outages, the overhaul of our engines, as well as the tree cutting. Now, I know I was driving up into St. Peter's on Saturday, and I did see the crews out cutting the trees, removing the trees from the lines, because as we would have mentioned in some shows before, these are some of the major causes of outages as well, especially when we have the elements outside, when we have high winds, hurricanes. These trees come down into the lines, and we have an outage. So our teams have been out on the road, and they have been engaged in tree cutting to help to ensure that our network stays up. We have also continued plans with our partners and the government of St. Christopher and Nevis and LaClanche, because I know that the public has been aware for some time that there's supposed to be a solar farm coming on stream. And so we're continuing with these conversations to ensure that we have the solar farm up and running as soon as possible, and that too will help with our reliability at SKELEC. We have onboarded new staff, we continue with training, and we continue to sit down and strategize as to what are some of the best initiatives we can implement to ensure that our consumers have a reliable supply of electricity. Next month, GQ, we are celebrating Energy Month. SKELEC is a partner with the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Post and Urban Development as they celebrate Energy Month next month. The Energy Month is being celebrated along with other CARICOM islands. It's actually the CARICOM Energy Month 2020. The theme for this year's Energy Month is a resilient community, energy at the center. As early as the 31st, we're going to begin the activities, which is the Minister's Address on ZIZ television. November 1st, we're going to be worshiping at the Calvary Baptist Tabernacle from 8 a.m. On November 4th, there's a live panel discussion right here at ZIZ, energizing conversations, where we're going to have some of our partners who are implementing energy efficient strategies within their companies. So we're going to have the ECCB, the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. We should be having the CFBC on board as well, and the Ministry of Environment, as well as the proprietor of the Nevis Wind Farm. So that panel discussion will be held on November 4th on ZIZ TV. It's a live discussion, and it will start at 8 p.m. On November 7th, I don't know if you recall, GQ, that the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, some time ago, they would have been giving out bulbs. So we are going to be giving out bulbs again. And we're having a bulb and bar hop. So we're going to, GQ's chuckling. We're going to the entire island, and we are going to be doing a bulb and bar hop on November 7th. So if you see us and you're on the side of the road that day, you can get the bulbs that you need. So don't be afraid to ask for however much amount of bulbs that you need. On November 10th, we're going to be having a soca size session. On November 14th, we should be doing some more radio programs. On November 17th, we're taking a group of students up to the ECCB to tour the solar farm there. On November 20th, that's one of our big flagship events, which is the Energy and Health Fair, which will be held on the Treasury apron from 9 a.m. So I don't want to say all, but a large amount of companies and energy-related companies, that is, will be there with tokens and information and different products that you can learn about and you can perhaps even purchase to help with energy reduction. And SKELEC will be there also, and we'll have tokens, and we'll tell you all about our new services. On November 24th, there'll be an Energize Yoga session at Flow Grounds, and November 27th, we're taking a group of students up to Nevis to tour the Nevis Wind Farm. So far, we have already had the art competition where students would have submitted their options for our t-shirt logo. And we also have an essay competition that's currently running for high school students. So I want to encourage those students to enter into the competition, write your essay based on the theme, a resilient community, energy at the center. So Energy Month, I'm psyched up for it, and I'm hoping that others will be psyched up as well and attend as many events as possible, especially our energy and health fair, so you can learn more about what St. Kitts and Nevis in particular is doing as it relates to resiliency and energy, especially as a CARICOM country. And just before I open the lines, because I'm going to open the lines, I think it's important to hear from our customers. And the last time they were very good to me, GQ. And I'm hoping today they're going to be very good to me again. But even if they aren't, it's the nature of working for a utility company.
All right. So we have just about 5 minutes left inside of the program. So,
Okay.
So put on your headphones.
We have callers already?
465. Well, I'm preparing you.
Okay.
465-2555. Let's take our first call. Hi, good morning.
Good
Good morning.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. I'm here listening to the show, and it's very informative. And the show is very timely because person now is aware of a lot of things that is going on with the electricity. And the young lady said something which is so true in relation to the outage. Some of us don't have any patience at all. And it's a give and take. Because sometimes they say from 9 to 12, the electricity come back by 11. But sometimes it go beyond because, as she said, they don't know what to expect when they go out there and dealing with the situation. So we as the general public have to really work with it. And I must say they're doing a great job, especially with the installation of the new light. I do love them. And I just want the general public to be aware when they're out and doing their jobs. And keep doing what you're doing. They're going to be good times and bad times. The good thing about this time around is that so far, so good in terms of the hurricane season. We have to keep our fingers crossed still. We're still not out of the woods, but we are given extra time to do what we have to do. So great show, young lady. Keep doing the good job you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, caller.
You're welcome.
Good morning, caller.
You're live. Go ahead.
Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, GQ and Miss Harris. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, caller?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. I just happened to pass and I hear the topic. So I often wonder why I'm living in Keys. But I always wonder, how come Keys is so small and you have so many sections? Sometimes one part has electricity. The middle might not have, the top one end might have, the other end might not have. I always wonder why is it like that.
Okay, that's because sometimes we might have to break up the community into different sections, especially if there might be an issue with load or if we're doing any sort of restoration and repair work. But ultimately, the entire community is on the same feeder, but sometimes we have to break it up to make work easier.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your call.
Hey, bye-bye.
All right. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, the King.
Yes, man. Blessed love.
And good morning to your guest there,
Miss Harris.
Mr. Harris.
Good
Last
morning.
week I called in and explained to you about the Fort Thomas error with the lamp pole.
Mm-hmm.
And up to now I haven't seen anyone come from your department to check it out or look at it. And it is very dangerous where it is at this moment. And furthermore, there are some lamp posts still have our light 24 hours per day. And the problem is that the photo cell upstairs is bad, and though electricity will be going into the consumer home, which they will be paying for it, and it's not right. Please to get all those poles that have our light and get out the photo cell and put in your one. You all have to go out and inspect the lamp pole that have our lighting still. It is not right. It doesn't come in on the radio and talking about SKELEC is this. You all having big problem outside. Get people out on the road and look at these things and rectify it. You have a good morning.
Okay, thank you, caller. What we're hoping is that, well, not hoping, but it is with the streetlight program that we have on stream right now, that we'll be able to replace a lot of these lights that are giving problems at the moment and that aren't working. We can take another caller, GQ?
Yes, we can.
Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning. I am a concerned citizen, right?
Okay.
I noticed you all been putting up the energy lights. But there's an area from New Guinea down to Winston Road. It's pure blackness.
From where?
From New Guinea down to Goodstone Hill Road, it's pure blackness. There is no light, nothing at all. People free to walk there now. People do have to walk in across the area. And I think you all should try and do something about it.
Okay, I will ask some questions. Thank you, caller. Can I have another caller?
We don't have any at the moment.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank the callers for calling in and letting us know what their particular issues are. I appreciate the feedback that you're providing.
Stick a pin. We're going to take one more, and that's going to be
One
the final.
more? Okay. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I'm calling from Market Street area by the bridge. There's a light right on the top of the bridge here for about almost a year now. I'm sure. It's on, when you're coming from Southbridge Morrigan Church, it's on your left hand side. The one on the right is showing with the camera is, but the one on the left is not showing. And that is there for a long time. Like that.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Hopefully, I know we haven't gotten to that area as yet, so hopefully by the time we get there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, we are out of time, so I'm going to let you address what you can and make you wrap up at the same time.
All right. I want to thank all of the callers that would have called in today. I want to thank all of our listeners. I recognize that we do have some repeat listeners. Remember that SKELEC is the utility company that is always with you, and we are really working to ensure that we provide electricity with reliability and responsibility. I just want to give one final plug to our automated call-in phone service, the Interactive Voice Response IVR. That's the 465-2000. A very, very useful tool. You can call in at any time, make a bill payment, inquire about your bill, and report outages. And as I would have mentioned earlier, when you call, you can hear all of the active outages that we have at the moment. I want to encourage customers to use it. I know it's being used for the outages, but I really want to encourage customers to use it as well to make your bill payments. When I look through it, I can see that people are accessing the IVR at 6 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning and making their payments from different parts of the world. And that is really insightful to us that we can see that persons are using this new technology. So don't be afraid of the new technology. Try it out, use it, and give us your feedback. Just as I make my final words, I want to thank all of the teams at SKELEC that work to ensure that the company is as great as it is, from our customer service team to our generation teams, our admin teams, as well as our transmission and distribution teams, our emergency crews. Thank you for everything that you do, and thank you to our wonderful customers for remaining patient and on board. The next time I see you, it will be next month. Have a great time until then. Bye-bye.